CROSSWALK, how's it going? I hope you guys had a great week since we last talked. Okay, I have a question again. It's kind of my thing, so let's just get right into it. Have any of you guys ever been a part of a surprise party? When you do a surprise party, the person being surprised has no idea what's going on, and then all of a sudden everybody jumps out and says, "Surprise!" It can be fun, sometimes it can be a little scary, sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking. Well, in today's biblical account, we're going to talk a little bit about a surprise party. Well, maybe not a party so much, but a surprise that happened between Joseph and his brothers. If you recall from last week, Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. A lot happens to Joseph between then and now. He becomes a highly regarded servant in an Egyptian's home, is falsely accused of a crime, imprisoned, kept in prison for years, forgotten about, interprets a dream that the Pharaoh has, and is promoted, and eventually becomes only less powerful than Pharaoh in all of Egypt. During this time, there's a famine, and it's part of the dream that Joseph interprets. And he advises the Egyptians on how to prepare for the famine. Well, the famine doesn't just affect the Egyptians, it affects the whole area. And Joseph's family is running out of food. They come down to Egypt hearing that there is food there. And Joseph sees his brothers and actually sends them back home, keeps one in prison there, and they come back again with his youngest brother. Now, keep in mind all of the crazy things that happened to Joseph and how Joseph might feel towards his brothers. And that's where we pick up in Genesis chapter 45, which you can find somewhere in your Bible. Look it up. And in verse 5, it says, after Joseph begins speaking to his brothers and tells them who he is, "But now do not therefore be grieved or angry with yourselves, because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years the famine has been in the land, and there are still 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity for you in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you who sent me here, but God. And he has made me a father to Pharaoh, a lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt." Joseph understood God had a plan, and God accomplished that plan by protecting and preserving his family. He and his brothers would become the 12 tribes of Israel. God protected his people through this plan. It may not have been God's ideal plan that Joseph was sold into slavery, but God still worked through it. It says in the New Testament that God works all things for good to them who are called according to his purpose. Joseph was called according to the purpose of God, and God used the circumstances of his life to accomplish his will, to provide for Joseph's family and protect the people of Israel. How amazing is the God we serve, that he can work all things together for his good. That's what I pray for you, CROSSWALK. I pray that the Lord will keep you and watch over you, and will use everything in your life for good to accomplish his will in your life and the lives of others. Have a great week, CROSSWALK, and we'll talk again soon. Surprise! Do you think this will work for the surprise that we're talking about today?
We can try.
Maybe we edit this out.